I'm Andy Shaughnessy for Real Time with IPC. Here with me this morning is Michael Ford. How you doing, Michael?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
Good to see you again. Michael is Senior Marketing Development Manager for the Valor division of Mentor. And I understand you all just released a new version of Valor NPI, which has a big part of that is the process of Lean NPI, which you all have been working on for a while. Just tell everybody what's new with Lean NPI this time.
Yeah, well, as you know, over the last few years, we've been putting into place, the kind of steps toward linking the two domains of design and manufacturing. So what we're announcing today is basically we're going one step further. In fact, we've taken this now all the way. So that in the past, what we had was the Valor NPI tool in use within the design environment, but it was a separate tool. And so what we've done today is actually to take that and integrate it in so that the Xpedition design tool now gives the designer access to be able to do proper design for manufacturing without leaving his comfort zone.
Right.
So that's the basic premise of what we're announcing now. We've taken that NPI flow and we've extended it both ends. It's now complete.
So how is this going to benefit the manufacturer?
Well, in manufacturing, the biggest problems that they face are variables. There are things that they can't control. One of the key variables that they can't control, of course, is the product itself. How are they supposed to know exactly how the processes are supposed to be set up, what kind of problems might be coming along associated with the design for them to cope with? For many people, this is part of the biggest problem they have. So if they can get information that they know has had all of these issues removed by the designer, then they have a lot more confidence to be able to reduce the length of time it takes to introduce the product. They reduce the costs associated with dealing with issues. And in fact, we say that, between design and manufacturing, you could spend thousands of dollars putting in place a guy to check on something because something's not quite right. Whereas that issue could have been fixed with your finger on a mouse button in the design if he'd known about it. So the manufacturer, he wants to control his variables. He wants to know that what comes in from design is not going to give him any nasty surprises.
Right. Okay. And we're talking about this from a design and manufacturing standpoint. When you say Lean NPI, if you say Lean to most designers, they kind of roll their eyes and they say, "That's Lean. I don't care about Lean. That's a manufacturing thing." What's in it for the designers this time?
The key thing is that there's a lot of distance between design and manufacturing. I mean, manufacturing is on a different continent, probably in a different time zone, but most importantly, there's probably a 2 to 3 month gap between the two. So the designer, he's, imagine you're the designer, you're getting on with the next design, and you get a phone call or an email complaining about the previous design. So it's a disturbance for him. He doesn't want to deal with this. He doesn't want the callbacks, the requests for engineering changes. This is the thing that destroys his schedule. And this is how he's measured. His performance is affected by these things. So until today, we've provided the Valor NPI tool. So in effect, he can go from his design tool, he can use Valor NPI, but it's not his natural domain. He has to open another tool. It looks to him a little bit complicated. He's not an expert in manufacturing. He doesn't know the meaning of SMT or test or these things. He's not, he's a specialist in design. So what we've done now by taking the DFM rules and putting them inside Xpedition, so the designer now using our Xpedition tool, in his native environment, he just presses a menu item and he will see the opportunities to improve his design according to all of the skills that have come from manufacturing to identify the opportunities to get it right. And so for him, this has removed a significant barrier because he no longer has to learn something new, he no longer has to do anything different. He just gets on with what he's happy doing, and he knows that he's making a perfect design for manufacturing so that when he gets to the next design, he's not going to get those callbacks. He's going to be able to get on with what he's supposed to be doing, and he's going to be a lot more productive.
So it's kind of running in the background so that they don't have to think about it. They don't want to think about new things. Designers don't like change, as you know. Not big fans of change.
Well, this is it, and it's unfair to expect them to understand manufacturing. They're specialists in what they do, so this is a great story for them.
Okay. Well, speaking of running in the background, hear about ODB++ kind of running in the background now. And so are we going to see any changes to ODB with this rev?
Yes, recently we had the ODB version 8, ODB++, and this is a key part of this lean NPI flow, because it's very important that we are able to capture exactly what the designer has done as part of a qualified product model. And to give that to manufacturing to say, hey guys, here is your one file. And from this one file, you're going to be able to set up all of your processes, fabrication, assembly, test. It's all going to come from this one consistent source. No data regeneration, none of that. It's simply there for you. And so this is the important part of ODB++, how it can carry this information. But wait, it goes one step further than that. Because within the ODB++, we also have the material information, the shapes of the materials themselves. So if you imagine you're a designer, you designed a product which is going to be made in several manufacturing locations. You've got the ODB++ version 8 file. You send it to all of the different manufacturers. They're going to get the exact same qualified product model. And what they're going to do is to use Valor NPI to qualify their locally sourced materials against that product. So they're going to be able to just run a very simple check just to make sure that whether I'm in outer Mongolia or the depths of China or based in the US, I know that the materials that I've got are going to work. And that's another one of the key variables that we are controlling. So this is an essential part of the lean NPI flow, this consolidation of shape information which is shared from design through the DFM process and out, even out into assembly onto the machines themselves. It's just one piece of data that's maintained one time and everybody shares it. So this is an essential ingredient of ODB++ version 8.
All right. Well, I know we'll be talking to you again, and thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it.
Okay, thank you very much indeed. See you again.
Always. Again, I've been speaking with Michael Ford. I'm Andy Shaughnessy for Real Time with IPC. Thanks for watching.